Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to the Philosopher King, a RimWorld royalty series about benevolence and kindness. A little recap of the rules and goals for y'all, and a reminder that it is a choose your own adventure series, meaning that every other week we will have a poll that you can vote on to help shape how this series continues. The last poll concluded that we should turn the close ancient danger to a guest room for royalty, tame a dangerous guard animal for protection, and construct and cultivate a beautiful garden. So here we are. I wanted to make some changes. One, I raffled off my 2 yaks, so we have Varys and Go to the Wall. I also added in that the animal grazing will be allowed to hit up these animal beds. And I wanted to make some other changes. One is that these marble potted plants are going to go out to the... they're going to go out there to our beautiful cultivated garden so that people aren't replanting while people are asleep, because that could be aggravating and annoying. What else are we going to do? I am going to actually leave these beds in here in case I need them. And then likewise, put the tables in, just in case there's people I want to recruit in the future. Got some fires out there. So yes, you might have noticed that previously this episode wasn't scheduled for today. Today is, of course, March 25th, a Wednesday. I'm changing my schedule around so you guys get 3 of these a week because I have a lot of other series that are winding down and figured, why not? Why indeed not? So here's to hoping that this is a productive episode where we are able to get the Ancient Danger cracked open. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up the way I like to open up Ancient Dangers with a little deadfall path. It makes it a bit easier. Let's not allow roofing it off. And that will be the start of our Ancient Danger opening. We are going to have a ton of plants out in that out here. Oh, and a raid. A mech hive raid landing on top of Talon. So it picks someone at random, and I guess Talon was probably the best one for it to land on because he was the furthest from the center of the base. There seems to be 3 of them. Animals, I'm going to have to assign to safety. Get inside. All 3 are scythers. Vree dogs are going to actually have a kind of a tough time getting inside. I'm going to power up these mini turrets. If they're scythers, I want to try to get shots on them. Oh, come on, Vree dog, you can make it. Alright, so if we're doing shots on them, let's go ahead and get lined up. Here we go. They're chasing me. And I'm going to focus on one at a time using Bubblu's talents for psychic powers to throw them off of my trail. Talon here is going to go toe-to-toe with one. And he's immediately downed. Well, this is not good. I'm going to call in Royal Aid, a trooper squad, and fall south. Hiding behind the troopers because I don't have any interest in becoming more maimed. I think backup is warranted. And one of my turrets is going to go kablamo. But I spread the turrets out enough because I know that they have a history or have a tendency to explode, that they can't explode each other. Alright, so that's all 3 mech hives. Talon, we will tend to you. And these allies here would have been great if, actually, Hang on a minute. I'm going to exploit a unique situation. So, they're here to help me. I'm going to poke into this ancient danger and just make them fight it. I have no idea what's in here. It looks to be even more mech hives. Well, allies, good luck with that. Alright, so Talon is laying out here. Mathis, quickly tend to him. But don't tend to him with meds, because I want you on the front lines. Why are they chasing me? Oh my god. Get off, get off, get off. Alright, so this, plug that back in. Alright, Mathis, you are done. Nope, you're not done yet. Alright, Bubbaloo, I want you to get some cover and throw a stun up on that pikeman. So one of the backup here ended up dead. I'm just going to cancel all this because I don't need it anymore. I'm rolling one event into two. As long as this Lancer is pointed away from me, I'm okay. In fact, you know, let's pull back even further. Bubbaloo drops a stun. Mathis, I do believe you're done, so let's get you out here to help. Zero is downed. Fortunately, he's bleeding out, but fortunately he's alive. I should have dropped another stun in that Scyther. Let me try that now. Keep pulling back away. Let's plug this turret back in. And on. Alright, Yan Shui just got lanced pretty badly. Man, this is a episode of chaos. Oof. Those Lance are getting pretty close. So these backup guys are like using me for cover. I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, I'm going to leave this door open and try to fall... Okay, so the Lancer's dead. I lost yet another turret. And this turret is soon to go as well. I plugged it. I turned it off so that would be deprioritized for target. All right, so this Scyther is down, and then there's just this pikeman left, which should be pretty easy because I have two decently geared Royal Aid. Yep, and then we're done. So we got a Psychic Shock Lance, some Luciferium, and then a bunch of ancient Cryosleep Caskets. So now, let's rescue the people who are downed. And I have a lot of rebuilding and recovery to do. But, wow. That was some organized chaos right there. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is slap a door back on here so that these things don't deteriorate because they're currently outdoors. Let's go ahead and assign... Yeah, I'll use real meds. Let's use real meds to shorten the recovery time. My animals here are going to be back on hauling and grazing alike. Talon is able to walk around, so I'm going to have him grab his Thrumbohorn. I also need to disassemble... Okay, disassembling mechanoids is on. And let's plug that in. I got real lucky that the gunshots that I suffered did not take out organs, important organs and things like that. It was really lucky. Count my lucky stars here. Oh, here's Bubbaloo playing a little harp. This gives him the high culture recreation type. All right, and then these guys are hanging around. They will leave shortly. They don't hang around forever. So as far as work goes, I will put them all on bed rest. If they need bed rest, they can have it. They definitely just bled for the cause. But I figured, given that the ooh, cotton plant blight. That's a bad one too. Well, Yan Shui, you are... I'm going to create a temporary zone to force you into the farm fields. Oops. And then we will cut this blight out as fast as we can. You're the only grower. Bubbaloo, actually, I'm going to temporarily make you grower because at the moment, I'm just cutting plants. It doesn't require skill. And I'm not even going to allow sowing so that we don't replant them. We're just cutting. Bubbaloo's really bad at it, though. Zero, able to walk again. Let's have you grab your rifle. We also have the backup that ended up dying. I don't think I'm going to entomb all the backup that I get because, honestly, that would be a lot of... Ooh. I will... I'll bury them closer to the base so that they aren't forgotten, so to speak. Hold on, restrict. Bubbaloo and Yunshui, I want you scheduled for work. So we actually cut this blight out. So these guys are leaving. And there's a few more plants that end up getting blighted. Okay, we're good now. So put them back on normal scheduling. And lift the zone restrictions. And I can delete this temporary zone. Well, it's already been action-packed. So the next stage will be the ancient soldiers that are inside these cryosleep caskets. This has to be done carefully, in a controlled way, to prevent them from... I'd ideally like to use them to supplement my own population. So that's going to be sort of the goal. Which is not easy to do. Okay. We have 3/5 of my colony are wounded. Okay. That's enough plants. Plant some daylilies in there. Okay, Mathis is helping cleaning up. There's a lot of turrets I'd like to replace. They did a really good job of buffering the attacks. Bubbaloo is reigning, gaining some authority. Alright, Mathis is going to bury these allies that gave their lives for me. Talon's fully healed, which is very good. Talon, I am going to make you a hauler for now, rather than a stone cutter. We need some of that good hauling. I'm going to allow the sowing of the, what is it, early April? Yeah, I'm going to allow the sowing. Bubbaloo, you are not going to be farming anymore. I forgot to take you off of that. And in fact, don't even bother using this research bench because the other one is better. Or more comfortable at the very least. And soon we'll get this high-tech research bench up once we have the materials. So Mathis built the door so that these things aren't decaying anymore, which is great. What else can I do? So the guys that died, I don't know where their weapons went. The yaks are starting to produce some milk, which is great. And a lot of you mentioned that Muffalo no longer make milk. A lot of the previous creatures that did both wool and milk, for balancing reasons, are now set to do one or the other, not both. So, do we even have Muffalo out here to demonstrate? Like Boomalopes, they produce chem fuel. I guess it doesn't even say here, does it? Oh, that one's really wounded and everything. Anyway. Okay, so we're starting to break down the old bedroom. And this is going to... Right now, the this throne room is undignified because some of it is unfloored. And I intend to fix that pretty soon here. Eventually, the throne room will all need to be fine flooring. I intend to carpet it up because carpet looks pretty good. It is flammable, but I'll run that risk. Because right now, it's a little bit too much marble. It's very marble heavy, and we could definitely mix it up with some other crops. So I had Zero and Yanshui on as much bed rest as they think they require. As far as assignments go, right now I'm going to assign royal meals to everybody, because I don't really have a lot of other meals, and I'd like to keep them happy. I'm a little worried about their moods dipping because of the injuries and whatnot. But I'll have to remember to remove that when it comes time. These rooms up here aren't temperature controlled either, so I'm going to need to run AC and the like to them. Waiting for these guys to heal up really reminds me that hospital beds would be ideal. You heal a lot faster in a hospital bed than you do without one. And Yanshui has malaria. Oof, you've gone from... Okay, so I think what I'll do, actually, is set up a hospital zone. So this hospital zone is going to be a place where people can get tended to. It's a sterilized room, as you can see. It's 0.6 cleanliness, so the infection rate of that room is a lot lower than just a bedroom, which is clean but not sterile. Yep. Alright, so Mathis is tiling this up. He's not our chief constructor, but he'll have to do. So we're going to have a strange strip of fine tiles, but whatever. Making it dignified. Now this room is a lot larger, more spacious. Inspired taming from Mathis. All right, so this is very good news. He has an animals of 12, which means forget taming the yak. It means the dangerous animal that I wanted to tame as a protection I can do very easily. Now the problem here is there's no dangerous animals out here. There's none. So I might actually have to go on a little bit of a trip looking for one. Alright, so Zero's fully healed. I'm going to put everything back to fine and simple meals. Yanshui's healed up, except for the malaria, of course. Zero is going to be helping to do some of these construction projects and repairs. And I'm actually going to have him machine, because I really want to get my turrets back online. And Mathis, you're going to help smelt. Let's supplement our steel by breaking down all these mechs that I killed. I really hate the feeling of being defenseless. So we'll fix that right now. So here Zero is crafting up those new turrets. And another really good thing to do is once Zero has time to mine up that uranium, turn some of that uranium into auto doors that are very, very tough and strong. And then some into uranium turrets, because uranium turrets are a lot stronger than... Uh-oh. Food poisoning and malaria. That's not so good. Well, that's rough. We have a spare flower pot here, don't we? I don't know. I'll put it there. Help with the beauty a little bit. Alright. Zero got the really good research bench up. Bubbaloo got food poisoning. He's a wimp, so he literally got knocked unconscious. One of the things I could do here is let's check Mathis's surge to success chance. So he's got an 80%. His medical's lower than I wish it to be. I've been focusing on him. I think at 80% I'm going to risk it. God, I hope this doesn't come back and haunt me. So I'm going to allow him to use the really good meds that we got from the Ancient Danger to do the brain surgery of putting in a pain stopper in Bubbaloo so that Bubbaloo's wimp trait is negated. But before I even do that, let's clean up the dirt. Alright, so the surgery success chance increases when using Glitterworld medicine. So fingers crossed, this will be okay. Okay, forget breaking that down. I'm not even going to rebuild those. So I'm just trying to make the hospital bed a little bit more comfortable. Eventually that's going to be a multi-analyzer, but for now it can be a hospital bed. Zero will install that for Yang Shui. And Talon's down. He also is a wimp. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely need a whole lot of pain stoppers, aren't I? Everybody's getting food poisoning. We have malaria and food poisoning, like a lot of. So Bubbaloo's surgery worked. He's sedated, but he's not going to feel pain, which is going to be awesome. It's going to keep him productive. Let's break down the old research table. God, everybody's going to be so sick. All right, Yanshui, you shouldn't even be out. I know you're not being fed. Mathis, can you try to feed her and tend to her? Oh, God, everybody's sick. This is so bad. Well, luckily, the RimWorld royalty adds in the ability to combat sickness. Combat food poisoning, rather. With better stomachs, detoxifying stomachs, or nuclear stomachs, stuff like that. So, but I think the food poisoning was a result of the workshop in here being slightly filthy. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. Alright, I do believe every single person in the entire colony is food poisoning now. I really ought to just burn these meals or whatever. I don't know what meals are causing it, but it is real bad. Only the animals are okay. It's kind of funny. I'm not going to claim any of this in here so that it doesn't become targeted for raiders until I'm ready to open up those pods. Boy, is it becoming a pukeathon. So, let's go ahead and... This ain't symmetrical, but... move that a little bit. Makes a little bit more sense. Alright. Assigning. So Bubbaloo can walk. And he's going to spend what precious energy he has trying to tidy up around people. Zero, you're heading to dig compacted steel while puking your brains out. Hats off to you. That is a dedication to the job. Everyone's hurling. Alright, so that was the last of the nasty meals, I think. I really ought to just have burned it, to be honest. But I wasn't sure exactly what they were eating that was causing it. Alright, Yanshui, you need tending to. Zero got sick again because he had pocketed one of the meals. Yeah, feed her ambrosia, honestly, because that's less risk of food poisoning than the meals I've cranked out. So Talon's almost recovered. Yanshui doesn't have food poisoning anymore, just the malaria. The immunity is 72%, the malaria is 60%, so pretty easy recovery unless I screw something royally up. Talon seems back in working order. A little malnourished, but okay. My steel and blocks stockpile definitely needs to be expanded. I'll go ahead and do that, allowing the animals and Talon to haul. In fact, yes, animals. So let's keep checking wildlife because we do have that inspiration. We only have the inspiration for 6 more days. And I intend to try to instantly tame something like a bear or a warg. I might actually have to go to other map tiles. Speech from the throne. Okay, so I'm going to have everybody attend this speech. This is something that a ruler will do periodically. They will give speeches from the throne to try to encourage everybody else in the community. Talon is not having any of it. Could you attend, please? He's like, nope. I don't think there's a way for me to force him to. Maybe I could just keep him here. Speeches take a long time, too. They're very long-winded. This is something I would not be surprised that in the future would be cut short. Alright, let's have him just consume lavish meal while he stands there. In fact, Yanshui do the same. Alright, encouraging speech. Did he actually... No. So he did not attend it. But Yanshui did. So Talon, even though he was standing in the room, did not get encouraging speech, which explains a little bit of the mechanics there. So Yanshui, attending that speech hurt your immunity a little bit, but not to the point where I'm worried for you. As far as assignments go, let's allow some royal meals because we are running fast out of meals. This would be a very good argument for nutrient paste because nutrient paste has no risk. It's a foul meal that will make no one happy, but it has no risk of food poisoning. So now that we have geothermal, I'd like to research carpet making because I intend to use fine carpets in the royal areas rather than the fine tiles. I like the carpets better. And then Yanshui, I'm going to have you crank out some simple meals, even though you're sick, because I am in dire, dire, dire need of it. Looks like a lot of our haulers are hauling in the slag, which will help with the steel. So I'm just going to have her... She's almost immune. So now go eat a meal and rest. This should be enough to cover for the remainder of her sickness. And we have an eclipse, so solar power is out for a bit. Something good to make would be flak armor. That's going to protect our vital organs and things like that in case of future raids. But I'm gonna Yanshui to work on these meals. Okay, so royal meals. Let's go back to simple fine for everybody except for Babaloo. And we have a solar flare. So not only eclipse, but a solar flare. Wow, a double the madness. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on these Muffalo to make sure that they don't spoil. It's kind of ridiculous getting both at once. Well, that leaves 0 to go mine. What is everyone else working on? Talon, you're hauling wood. Yanshui, you're farming. Mathis, you are cleaning, it seems. So our freezer's not frozen anymore. That's to be expected in a solar flare plus eclipse. Another thing I could have done during that the surge of food poisoning is to instruct people to just drink milk straight, as that's a little bit safer as well. Alright, so the solar flare is ending. The freezer's going to get back down to frozen, which is great. Another thing I have to figure out is, will a... I'm going to hunt some alpaca and bucks and doe in the hopes to clear out some animals so that tougher animals can come in and replace them. One of the concepts of RimWorld is that a biome can only support so much animal life. This is so that you don't have a scenario where there's so many animals that there's no plants and berries out there. Which means if you have a full map of herbivores and omnivores that aren't necessarily predators, there won't be a lot of turnover for animals. And as a result, you have a situation where you don't get refreshed. And that's exactly what's happening, so. Alright, so Bubbaloo, just drink straight milk. That's totally fine. If we take a look at the call royal aid, as you can see, there's 40 days left before I can call another one, or alternatively royal favor. But right now, my royal favor is 3, and I would need 4 to call it. So you can actually spend royal favor as currency in order to call for backup, but you need more than the requirement. It won't rank you down. So right now, if I tried to call royal favor, it would give me -1, which would put me back into the Esquire rank, and it won't allow me to do that. Which is fine by me. I mean, that makes sense, but you have to consider it. Oh, so we have a bit of a power shortage. I'm going to turn off some of the things I can turn off. Looks like both of the wood-fire generators are cranking out power. So the other thing I could do is to seek out geothermal. I did research it. I researched it with the intention of making it... So what I'm going to do is put concrete tiles around the geothermal. This is very much going to be a 0 task. And then I also want to wall it off. I don't really care about the quality of the walls. So what do we have a lot of? We have 177 sandstone blocks. I don't know if that's enough. 35 plus 5 apiece. So this isn't enough. We'll give it a different door. Give it a granite door. So this is 35 times 5, right? So that's 175. That's perfect in if we don't have any accidental wastage. It's a big if, though. We have to not fail at construction. So then another thing I have to do is to figure out how to deal with these prisoners. Now, I've devised ways in the past to deal with them, but it requires a little bit of construction here. So, Yanshui, actually, you know what I could do? I could really need cut plants. And I'm going to create a temporary zone so that she does it as a high priority. If you're not, yeah, you're not really working on anything else that's too vital at the moment. Imperial Trader coming in. I do have a Knight rank, which should allow me to talk to them, which is different than the last time they waltzed in. Now they're looking for gold offerings or something akin to that. Let's see what I can offer them. I do have a little bit of gold, but I want to save some of it for the multi-analyzer. No, actually, this is a full trade. This is not a... okay. Now, I'd like 2 advanced components because that's going to open up a whole field of crafting ability. I'm also going to sell my hard drugs. I'm very tempted to actually sell my Luciferium. We're a benevolent colony, and a drug that is literally described as a deal with the devil doesn't sound very benevolent to me. Tech print healing factors looks terrific, but I don't know if I can really afford it. They also have really good weapons here as well. I can sell my spare harp. I can also sell all of my ambrosia, or all of my psychic tea, and I want to keep some beer. So here's a big trade. The other thing I'm going to do is, let's haul this in, is uninstall all of my statues and urns and stuff that I can then sell to them, because I can always make these back. They're not expensive. I could even, because we haven't planted any of this, I can even get rid of some of this stuff. So I'm going to have 0 run around uninstalling all the things that I think this Imperial Trader could trade for, granting us something much more valuable than the collective statues and stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have any lungs, but, you know, I wasn't really expecting them to carry lungs with them. So the other thing is, if this is going to be geothermal, I'm going to need to run some power. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so I think I've uninstalled all that stuff. I should be able to trade it to them. And here's the statues. They won't take the... Doesn't seem to me like they are willing to take the planters. Now, if I parted with gold, all but, let's say, healing... I still can't afford healing factors. I really want the lance. I could part with a ton of my psychoid leaves and just plan on replanting them, and that gives me healing factors. It's a very expensive trade, but it's one I'm willing to take and make, so there we are. So Bubbaloo, go apply the tech print healing factor. And I will just get these reinstalled, and I won't uninstall them again. Alright, Yanshui, you're done there. Let's unrestrict you. My bad, my bad. I don't know how long you've been standing around like that, but let's get you moving. Alright, Talon, let's have you grind out some steel, because we're going to need it for the geothermal. The tech print animal healing factor is now researched. So what that does for us is, once we get way up beyond fabrication, we'll be able to make a coagulator and a healing enhancer. Healing enhancer is really good. Coagulator makes you bleed at half speed, but the healing enhancer is muy bueno. Allows you to heal up more quickly, more naturally. So these guys didn't even take the urns, so I'll put those away. I haven't forgotten, we're hoping for apex predators coming in. I haven't seen them yet. Oh, Jansh, looks like there's ambrosia ready. She's getting a little overwhelmed. Losing her ability to keep up with the workload, I think. Alright, so the caravan is leaving. And a quest available, Monumental Building. Gelly, oh, I remember Gelly, is requesting to build a monument to commemorate his own oh, what a jerk. Gives me a royal favor. I'll accept it. I'll accept it with Bubbaloo. So what this does is it sets up a blueprint of where the monument will be. I'm going to put his monument right there. And once we build it, we gain the royal favor. And we have a certain amount of time to build it. So it's giving us 9 days, which should be plenty. That's a pretty lengthy period of time. Okay, that's probably enough butchering. So once we get carpet making, I'm going to do multi-analyzer. I probably should have done the multi-analyzer first, but oh well. Here's some hops. When zero's up, we'll work on the geothermal generator. That's going to really aid our ability to not have to keep throwing wood into the fire. But let's have you put down... Okay, here we go. The carpet making is done. Multi-analyzer is next. The monument maker. So once you put the monument maker down, you can see what the layout's going to be. And you can start working on that. But I really want to work on my my geothermal first. And then let's not roof it up. Roof up the sides is fine, but not the center. We don't want it to be like a burning inferno in there. Okay, another thing is this has got to be a home zone so that we keep it repaired. And now we're starting to work on that oh, there we are. There's my ambrosia. Starting to work on the monument as well. And the inside of the monument is going to be limestone blocks. I probably have enough. And then if I select the whole monument, like this, it shows me what quest is linked to it. So there's 2 marble blocks in there, and then the rest, I suppose, is limestone. Alright, Mathis is still hunting down alpaca, hoping to free up some space. I think what I'm going to need to do, probably next episode, because I'm narrowly running out of time, is have Mathis travel to another map tile that has something like a warg or a bear. Probably escorted by his own pets. Klein, did you just get drunk? Oh, yikes. Alright, so Klein became severely malnourished. Animals. You were... Oh, set to animal hauling. My bad. That's entirely my fault. Wonder how my donkey's doing. Vreedog probably has been eating berries and things, whereas Klein cannot, due to a difference of diet. So the monument is done. It's a pretty simple, easy monument. Wasn't that all that complicated. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up a little bit, or I'm going to close it up so no one goes in there. Oh, these were forced open. Hold on. Also means that animal grazing should not include in here or in here. Let's close those doors. Good. Oh, I need one more sandstone block, it looks like. Some sort of miscalculation, so sandstone once. And then what we really are gunning for is the geothermal. And it says I'm going to need more steel for that, which is just a matter of smelting some slag or oh, there's no sandstone anywhere on the map tile. So this one corner here I'll just leave unfinished. I'm sure there's sandstone in structures out here, yeah, like this sandstone wall. So I eventually what I could do is just break down some of the sandstone and make it the whole building sandstone. But Zero, you're probably needing rest soon. And I'm at the end of this episode. Well, guys, I hope you appreciated the extra time slot of the Philosopher King. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, questions, comments, concerns, if you want to discuss this on Discord, Rhodomont.com is the place to be. Otherwise, you can either leave me a comment here or hop on Discord. Just a reminder to all of my patrons who are listening, submit your ideas for the polls so that come next episode, we'll have a nice full option of things to vote on. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all later. Adios.